I have a very different opinion on Black Ops 4 than most people. Most people hated Black Ops 4 at launch and love it now. I loved Black Ops 4 at launch, but hate it now. My opinion changed on it. All right, and welcome back, guys. And we're going to be trying something completely different here. We are going to be reacting to someone else's video, and I've never really edited a video like this before. So this is just a learning experience here, starting off with the full screen cam, which I've never started a video off like this before. So a little bit intrusive here. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into reacting to this video here. And this is one of my friends. He's making a few videos here. His content's actually really good. He makes a ton of zombies content. It is Skeptics. I'm gonna leave his channel link in the description. Let's go down here. Oh, we would not get the bell on. Make sure you sub, turn those notifications to all. Let's give this a like as well. This video is titled Stop Telling Me to Be Grateful About Vanguard Zombies. I watched this a long time ago. He makes a lot of really good points in this, and yeah, it's fitting. Our first reaction video is going to be about Vanguard here, so let's go ahead.
For our enjoyment. Oh, you have to sit here and say, oh, it's not for our enjoyment.
I like the little preview thing. I like this. I really like when people do this. I like how he's got the little preview down here. I kind of took a little bit of inspiration from that as well.
Oh, you have to suck it up. You have to like it. No, I don't. I don't at all. Just tell us what you're gonna do so that fans have some.
Look at these. I don't know. I really like his editing style. He's actually edited a few videos for me before. Look at the cuts in and out. It is very nice.
Inkling, some idea, some format to go by.
Camera is also insanely good. Kind of need to step up my camera game too. I know we haven't even talked about the video yet. We're just talking about the editing style, but look at that blur in the background, and he's in focus. Yeah.
When they are making a purchase decision, because when you take my money, you're taking my time, and that is valuable to me.
Probably skip the preview because we're gonna watch the whole video. Got the intro here. Oh, full screen it back.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Alex. Welcome back to another Call of Duty Vanguard Zombies video. That's a lot of words to say at the beginning. Probably going to have to shorten that intro. And today we're going to be discussing why exactly I am tired of this little trope that's going around the zombies community and just the gaming community in general. We're going to be talking about a little bit of a sensitive subject here, so try not to get, too triggered, and try not to attack me in the comments. I'm trying to be fair here a little bit.
Yeah, this is where you went wrong. When it comes to the COD Zombies community, you can't really be fair. It doesn't matter. You can take the middle road, and you have a different. If you have a difference of opinion in someone in the zombies community, usually there's something wrong there.
We'll be arguing both sides of this particular issue, and that issue is itself gratitude. There are a ton of YouTubers that are just.
Okay, hold on. Okay. I don't like this. His face is bigger than mine. We've got make me feel self-conscious here, so we'll come. Oh, I don't like this side. Oh, okay. Dang it. Okay, I guess we'll just be the small face underneath. I'm okay with that. Hurts my ego a little bit, but it's all right. I look weird on the other side.
Just blindly hating on Vanguard Zombies and Treyarch and Activision and all this stuff. And then there are people that are just blindly defending it. And it seems like it's inappropriate to have a take that lands you somewhere in the middle. Now, let me be very clear. I am grateful that we live in a world where I get to play video games and look at this beautiful, interactive, artistic experience where I can immerse myself and become a character, do a quest, fight a boss, all that stuff. I love it. I think gaming is sick. I really do love it as an art form. I think it.
Gaming sick. 10 out of 10 take.
It's genuinely amazing. That being said, it's a business, and there are literally YouTubers out there that have said that gaming industries are about their bottom line, and it's not important for them to care about our enjoyment, and that sometimes it doesn't matter. Yes, gaming is a business, but our enjoyment is why they're in that business. It's to entertain us. If I work at a restaurant and I am trying to sell you a hamburger, I've used this example a jabillion times, and I try to sell you a hamburger, and that's what you order, and then I end up making you a chicken sandwich because I ran out of beef in the back, and I bring you that sandwich, that chicken sandwich. Is the customer, are you supposed to be grateful and go, well, at least that chef made me something, even though I paid $16 for the burger when the chicken sandwich was $7, at least he made me something. Oh my gosh, thank goodness. No, he is in the service business to serve the customer, which is you. I don't care if they ran out of beef. I don't care if they aren't able to make me that burger. I ordered it. That's what I should be getting if I'm going to pay that money. Now, if I order the burger and then they say, hey, actually, we're out of our prime beef today. Would you like something else? I can offer you a chicken sandwich, maybe a steak or something. I can be like, oh, you know what? I'm good. And then I can leave. Thank you so much for being transparent with me, sir. I'm going to go take my business elsewhere. Let me know when you guys get your burger back in stock. It's a very basic and common courtesy to do something like that. I'm building a small business right now as a photographer. One thing I try to do to make myself stand out against other businesses is I provide way more photos because I take a crap ton of photos. So rather than take two.
See, and I get where you're coming with this, but this I think is my issue with it. When it comes to like, you know, the photography business, or it comes to like a restaurant, there's a lot of different options. I think COD has kind of found itself in its own position. The thing is, COD realized there's really no competitor for COD. The people who play COD play it for a very specific person, whether it be zombies. Like there's thousands of zombie games out there. It is one of the most oversaturated, overdone game genres ever. There's ever since the first zombies game, there's been thousands of them, but there has been nothing that has even come close to the same feel of COD Zombies. Like, it just hasn't. No other game developers try to capture this. The closest thing you're gonna find is like Roblox remake maps or like mods for other games, but there's never been a game that's came out that's really ever been like COD Zombies. Like, think about it. Like, yeah, there's Dying Light, there's all these other zombie games, but none of them have that classic round-based map feel that, you know, Zombies has ever had. And I think Call of Duty realizes this. There's no one out there to compete with them, so they can kind of do whatever they want and get away with it. And they know you're still gonna buy the game. You want to get that Zombies fix. Even if I wasn't making videos, I would have bought Vanguard Zombies, even after seeing the bad the bad press. Everyone's like, this game sucks, this game sucks, this game sucks, and it's $60. It's not worth it. I still would have bought it. I'm not gonna lie, because I want to get that Zombies fix. And yeah, even if I only play it a few times, I still would have ended up getting it just to see kind of the updates through it, because there's not other options out there. The only other options you have for a zombies experience like this is previous Call of Duty games. And if you've been playing those, as you know, time's gone on, if you've been playing since World at War, you've played all those maps. I've played every zombies map 1,000+ times. I'm looking to get that zombies fix, and I want something new. And unfortunately, I think with the state they're in, they can kind of shove out whatever, and they know people are going to buy it because there's not competition. There really isn't. Same thing when it comes to MP. There is not any other game out there that can fill my like Call of Duty fix for the MP, because I like these really grindy, complicated systems that you get with COD. The camos, the operator skins, the calling cards, the dark ops, all the stuff like this. And you just don't see that in other games. I don't know any other game on the top. Like, there might be one that I can think of, but what other game out there has one, even just a gold camo for weapons that you get for completing challenges, but on top of that, a diamond camo for completing the entire set, and like a dark aether camo for completing, you know, all 30 weapons or whatever the game launches with. I don't know any game out there that does that besides like really small indie games. Like Battlefield doesn't do that, Halo doesn't do that. Any other shooter game doesn't do this. And that's a lot of the reason people play COD, is for this experience that you're only gonna get with COD. And no other game company has really been inspired by this and taken from this in a meaningful fashion. So I get the whole hamburger thing. It's like, yeah, but it's just like, that's the thing, is Activision at this point is kind of a business, and they can kind of shove out whatever. And they've got me hooked. I'm not gonna lie. Even if I wasn't making videos, I'm gonna buy a COD every single year as long as I'm gaming, until something comes along that can replace it, because there just isn't a game out there that can replace what Call of Duty currently is.
2,000 pictures and then give my client 5 and charge them $500-$600. I give them like 100, because I don't necessarily choose the best photo. Maybe they think they look stupid in one. Maybe they didn't smile. Maybe their eye is like looking off in a weird direction, and I don't notice that because I'm not them. So I edit a ton of photos. I give them the option to choose what's best, and then we go from there, because I want to interact with my client and make sure that they're satisfied, because I don't want them to go anywhere else. That has been lost from gaming. And I understand there is a difference between creating a cheeseburger for somebody in a kitchen where you can only cook it once, and in software development where you can perpetually update your game and fix it. And that is something that we have had in Call of Duty for a long time. They sell us a base game, and then they add and pile on DLC, weapons, content, whatever you want to call it. They pile it on over the course of a year. That's awesome. I am totally down with that. I am totally down to pay my ticket fee to enter the digital park that is before me. What I'm not fine with is how they have been making the park, the digital park, again, for lack of a better term, smaller and smaller and smaller, and then making our DLC season, you know, bigger and better than it's ever been before. We know that they're straight up cutting content so that they can sell us more DLC. When they moved to this free DLC system, they basically removed themselves. I'm speaking about Activision and Treyarch and Infinity Ward and stuff here, and I guess other companies as well. They've removed themselves from any liability by selling content packs, because all they're selling us is customization now, which pays for everything, and it's way more lucrative. And okay, fine. I get that. I genuinely don't have an overarching problem with Vanguard Zombies. I genuinely don't have an overarching problem with Treyarch or Activision. I'm not that unhappy with the game. I think it sucks that there's not a lot of content in there. I do get that. But rather than hiding behind words and PR speak and this whole gratitude thing that people are putting forward, I think it's fair to say that Zombies didn't launch properly. The game is pretty good overall. Multiplayer is doing great. I know a lot of people like that. I enjoy it. Apparently the campaign is good. I think it's a little short, just like Cold Wars. Yes, they made the game.
Short campaigns are good. I don't know. I'll die on this hill. I like short campaigns. I'm not gonna lie. I like to beat a campaign in one sitting. I lose interest if I can't. So I want none of the filler. I want just the important stuff in a campaign, and I don't care if the campaign's 3 hours long. If it's a good, solid campaign, I'm okay with that. I don't want like a 10-hour. Then I'm talking about COD. Obviously, if it's a single player game, I want the campaign to be long. But for COD, I like it nice, sweet, and short. Just the important stuff. Take out, because COD, like the longer COD campaigns have all these useless missions. Like you've got stupid tank missions that shouldn't be there that are just on rails. So I'm 1000% okay with a short campaign mission
during a pandemic. But again, this is not the consumer's problem. And I'm not saying that to be mean to the devs. They work super hard, and I know they are passionate, and we're going to get into that in just a second. It's just not the consumer's problem. We are giving you money. If you were doing this for free out of the kindness of your heart, we would be having a different conversation. This is not like your mom getting you groceries once a month because you're short on cash or something, and you just scream at her because you really resent her. No, that is not gratitude. That's you being a dick. But if you want to show gratitude, you would say, you know what? Thank you so much, Mom. I really appreciate your help. It really means a lot to me during this tough time. That's gratitude. And I am grateful for all the technological advancements that we've made in this country and in our culture. I am so grateful for that. And that's not really the point of this video. What I'm not happy with as a consumer, as a customer, as a person that has worked in real life, spent my time to earn money, and then trading that money for another service where I'm getting shysted, I don't think that's fair. And now I know people are in the comments are probably going to say, well,
yeah, if you spend money on it, you're 1000% allowed to be critical. Like that's just how it is. If you paid money for it, you can speak your mind about it. And it's 1000% not being ungrateful. You paid money for it. You paid the right to be able to say what you want about it. You can't be like, well, this sucks. Like, I mean, and if anything, you're helping other people understand, like, hey, this guy spent money on this. He was unhappy with it. And yeah, so I get that.
Well, you are buying an entire product. Multiplayer is okay. The campaign is okay. Zombie is the only thing that sucks. Eventually, the Battle Royale is going to come out. And then it'll be kind of worth your money. That's fair to say. I don't disagree with that entirely. But then why are they doing a November launch? Why are we doing that still? If they're going to basically launch a game with a ton of bugs, not talk to us at all, the community manager, she's around, but they're not really talking about anything. Treyarch is radio silent when it comes to zombies. The campaign is a 4 to 5 hour experience. Battle Royale isn't coming out until December. Why not just push the game back then so it launches with all of the content?
Because those sweet Christmas sales, I feel like Christmas sales make up an insane, and I mean, you probably know this, but it makes up an insane amount of it, and they don't want to miss out on the Christmas sales. November is kind of like the sweet spot for making the most revenue from a game, and yeah, so
that way people feel like they're getting an actual product here. And then as the DLC season rolls around in January or February, we're only waiting a month and a half or 2 months at that point, rather than waiting November, December, January to February, so 3 to 4 months. I don't understand this whole release and then patch it later mentality.
I think the main reason they do it is because I feel like it almost drives more sales. You can launch the game, and yeah, people complain this has lack of content, but now every time you do a content update, and this would be stuff that would normally be in the launch game, you get more press for the game. People are now talking about it. Oh, did you see Vanguard? Vanguard Zombies now added in a Pack-a-Punch camo. It brings it back up. People are talking about it again. And when you drip feed content like that, more and more people will overall, like, it's more free advertising for the game. More people are talking about it now. You're getting more stuff. And it really doesn't matter how bad the launch state is, because if you get those sales over time consistently, if people continue bringing it back up with adding more and more content, and like I feel like they praise not the developers, they praise the like Activision and stuff, like, oh, hey, look, they're updating this game, adding stuff. Even though if it was 4 years ago, this would have just been content we would have normally gotten. Now we're being happy and we're being like, yo, thanks so much for the update, for content that would have normally just been at launch. Like, this is content we would have normally paid for in our $60 purchase, but now we're like, hey, and we're giving them appreciation for it, even though it's like 2 months later and it's something that should have been at launch. So yeah, that's
in some elements, I guess it does make sense, because, you know, it would be better for the fans to have something to do, I suppose. But then just straight up tell us that. Straight up just say, hey, you know what? Darren Fung is like a
yeah, and yeah, the lack of communication is 1000% the biggest issue with Vanguard Zombies. I feel like as someone who bought this, I have just been left in the dark. Like, that's all people can do, is sit here and speculate about things, because they have said really nothing. The only information we have gotten is the roadmap for season 1. Like, besides that, it's just been kind of radio silent, and that is hands down. This was the perfect spot to pause, by the way. This is hands down. And that's the worst part. We don't know what direction we're taking it. We know nothing about it. It almost feels like finding out the direction of Vanguard Zombies is the real Easter egg of the game. Trying to do all this like detective work online with the lack of communication. I really do. It feels like they're trying to tell us what's the future for Vanguard Zombies, and it's a giant Easter egg online. They're dropping clues like, guys, secret update. I wish we would just get some form of formal line of communication for Vanguard Zombies, because this video is a month old, but everything he said in this video is still the exact same with Vanguard Zombies. Nothing's changed. The only thing they've ever said is the roadmap. It's still just radio silent, and
Zombies beta, and we're going to release this at the beginning of every year, and then when we have DLC 1, 2, 3, 4 come around, they're going to be big round-based maps, or we might try a new mode. Just tell us what you're going to do so that fans have some inkling, some idea, some format to go by when they are making a purchase decision, because when you take my money, you're taking my time, and that is valuable to me. And I am spending time playing your game, which is also valuable to me. So no, I'm not grateful. I am not grateful for what Activision and Treyarch are doing right now. I think it's very unfair. Am I mad at the devs as a whole or individually? No, of course not. That's ridiculous. But to sit here and say, oh, it's not for our enjoyment. Oh, you have to suck it up. You have to like it. No, I don't. I don't at all. So stop saying that, okay? Now, I want to talk about Kevin Drew, who works at Treyarch. I don't know why I said worked. He still works there. He posted a Twitter thread the other day. Sorry, I'm losing my ability to talk right now. And he straight up just kind of put out some emotional feelings for the developers. And I want to acknowledge that this is important. I want to know how these people are feeling, because I want to interact and participate with these people. So Kevin Drew says, video game development is complex, just like any entertainment industry. It's very rare that a single individual is responsible for the success of a game. It takes many talented people to create something special. And in my opinion, that kind of reminds me of how we all put people on a pedestal in the Zombies community, i.e. Cameron Dayton, Lee Ross, Jason Blundell, Jimmy Zielinski. I think as a community, we know that the Zombies team is very diverse and talented and all that stuff, but we did tend to associate whoever the most vocal member of the team was with most of that responsibility. As you can see in our community, people are saying, you know, ever since Jason left, the community has died and the game has lost all of its heart. Kevin Drew, I'll show you guys on screen, but he did work on Mob of the Dead, Ancient Evil, Outbreak, all of, Cold War Zombies in general, plus some other stuff that I can't even remember off the top of my head. I'll show you on screen. It's amazing. He has worked on banger after banger after banger. So to say that there's no passion and that there is no hope for the franchise is just not true. There is what's happening is
see, and this is, I 1000% agree with this. Like, I feel like there is hope for COD Zombies, and I feel like that's coming with the next like full-on official Treyarch game. And what has happened here, and it was just a lack of communication in the marketing, and I really feel like Activision kind of tried to mislead people with the launch of this game, because this Zombies isn't what really people expected, but the way they marketed this Zombies really wasn't anything close to what we got. And I feel like that's where a lot of people feel burnt out at. They marketed this Zombies, especially close to launch, a lot. They had a bunch of different stuff with it, and the way they perceived this Zombies to be really was nothing like what we actually got. There was more stuff content wise in the trailers, and there's more enjoyment watching the trailers than there actually is in the full game. And if they would have just been outright and told us exactly what we are getting in these trailers, exactly what it was going to be like, and didn't like paint it with this different light, there wouldn't have been an issue. But now you got tons of people who bought this game only for zombies. Like, there's a ton of zombie players who really like, okay, I only play COD for zombies. And if you bought Vanguard and only play zombies, I don't think there's ever going to be $60 worth of content in Vanguard Zombies. I think a year from now, after the game's fully life cycled over, there might be $15 worth of content in the zombies mode, but there's never going to be even remotely close to $60 worth of content. There just isn't going to be. And they marketed it like a game that we've seen in the past, like Cold War, like Black Ops 4, where those games actually had full-on zombies experience where it was actually worth it and worth the purchase price to pay for it. But in this game, we just got a small bonus mode. That's what we got. And it was just the lack of kind of just telling us what we were getting. And I think Activision knew that. If they would have been like, hey, this is just going to be a small bonus mode, they would have lost a large portion of sales. So they didn't do that. They marketed it differently than what we actually got. And that's where the biggest issue is. And it really doesn't have anything to do with developers. It's just Activision kind of misled the community when it comes to the way Vanguard Zombies was going to be to get that extra little bit of revenue out there. And that's really what I feel like happened here. And that's why the community is in such just a almost shattered state. Is it feels like the game company that makes the game that we like completely purposely deceived us into buying this game and did not deliver anything close to what they were saying they would.
An issue with the fundamentals of the business and how they are putting out content to the fans and taking advantage of them. They are $1 billion company. I am one person who is spending $60 to $70. Usually I buy 2 copies of every COD because I like it on console and PC. That's not Activision's fault. That's my fault. I get that. But to say
but that is dumb. I bought, I don't know how many, I've bought a lot of copies of Vanguard, but I think it's dumb. I hate, and this has nothing to do with Activision, I hate how if you own like a PlayStation, an Xbox, a PC, if you want to play it on all your different platforms, you got to buy it 3 separate, it's whatever.
My feelings don't matter because without me and whoever else buys this game, Activision and Treyarch, Infinity Ward, Sledgehammer, they wouldn't exist. So he goes on to say in this thread, even with an amazing team, there are circumstances beyond their control that can impact a game. Development time, budget, and meeting consumer demands, to name a few. Ultimately, that should not matter to the person playing the game. Exactly. It doesn't matter. I care because I'm an empathetic person and I want these people to be happy and healthy, and I don't want them to ruin their lives over a product. That's insane. I'm not some like ride or die consumerist that's like, oh, I need my product now. If they don't have my product, no, I'm not like that at all. That's insane.
I am. I want my product now. I want more zombies content.
I am reasonable. I'm not. Just expect that reason to also be returned, to be reciprocated, and a little more transparency would go a long way. As the consumer, it's their right to play it and form an opinion, negative or positive, and voice that. What troubles me is when people claim that developers have no passion for the game they work on. This could not be further from the truth. And I definitely believe that. Are there people that are probably burned out on working on zombies and Call of Duty in general? I could assume so, because I get burnt out from playing it. So creating it is probably a whole different emotional.
I'm pretty sure the developers for this game have passion, because I'm not going to lie, making this game is probably more fun than playing this game. I guarantee you the development process for Vanguard Zombies was a lot more fun than the actual playing of the game. I would rather sit and work coding this game than I would actually sitting playing this game.
That I could never even begin to tackle. But Kevin is 100% right here. It's not our problem what happens behind the scenes. That's their problem to make sure that they're putting out the product that they say they're going to. What's troubling about this is they're the ones setting the deadlines. They're the ones saying the game's coming out November 4th. Say that Zombies isn't coming out till season 1. We just had a map.
Well, it's Activision, not the developers choosing it. But I mean, see, that is the issue. And it, like, I get what Kevin Drew's saying there. It doesn't concern us, but at the end of the day, it kind of does. If Activision is imposing these deadlines, the work environment there sucks, and even if the people developing the game are passionate about it, if they're not given the time, if they're not given, you know, the proper team and all this stuff, it ends up affecting the game in and of itself. And I mean, it obviously affects the working conditions of the people working there, but overall, it leads to like unhappy developers, and it leads to a poor quality game. So it should concern us, the stuff going on development wise, because it does affect this. And I mean, obviously we don't want people making these games being locked in a box, being, well, locked in a box was a kind of ridiculous example, but you know, we don't want the developers of the game to be miserable while making it. We don't want them stressed out and stuff like this. And I know that is just part of game development, and it's not going to go away, but it doesn't mean that steps should not be taken to make this a little bit more obviously easier. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't know a ton about game development. Like I know a little bit about code, but I don't know the ins and outs of it. But it definitely should kind of concern us, the work environment of the developers, because it is going to directly affect the product. So in a way, it is kind of our concern. But I don't like it when people say the developers have no passion, because a lot of the things that we criticize, they don't have direct control over this. Activision kind of sets the bottom lines. They set the release dates. They do all the, you know, behind the scenes work. They just, you know, are the ones who put the blood, sweat, and tears into actually making it happen.
In October, we don't need a launch title for Zombies if it's not going to meet the standard that Treyarch has set themselves. Fans didn't set that standard. Treyarch did. Treyarch kept raising the bar, and fans just were so hyped about it. And the way that we consume content in our culture has increased at a rapid pace. It's all kind of worked together simultaneously. It's not like one person's fault or anyone's fault, just like he's saying it's not one person's responsibility for all that success. It's a web of intricate parts all moving together. But our voices matter too as consumers. Having gone through that many times over the years, they are likely taking that criticism the hardest as they reflect on the unique challenges of that project and how they can do better. I wonder if they only have 3 challenges to choose from. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. That was funny. That was funny though. All right. Regardless of the circumstances, we always want people to enjoy the things we make. And we want to enjoy the things that you make, guys. So again, to the people out there saying you need to be grateful, they'll fix it eventually, they'll patch it, round-based are coming soon, just put the game down and wait for the round-based. Yeah, I had no problem with doing that. Treyarch's the one that released their Anfang, not me. Just straight up say, hey, we want you guys to pre-order the game, we want you guys to buy this, but you know, we're not gonna have Zombies at launch. Round-based is coming, guys. We just want to put out this new mode to satiate you. In the meantime, go and play Forsaken. You have a whole year of content with Cold War. We just finally fixed the game. All of the weapon skins are out, the blueprints, all of the operators are out. There's tons of challenges in there. Go and play that. Just hang tight. We got you. We're going to take care of you. We love this fan base. We're going to make sure that we do our best to serve you and make sure you get your money's worth. But no, instead they put out these weird articles where they say, well, round-based fans will be satiated. We are not.
See, and that's what I was saying about the marketing thing. Like, this game was heavily marketed towards zombie players, and I feel like they promised an experience that didn't exist. And that's my biggest gripe with it. Like, and that's why I think people are justified to continuously complain about this game, because Activision misled the zombies community. They told us that we were going to be, what we were getting was all this stuff. And then we get this half-baked demo of a mode that, if they were kind of honest and showed like just actual gameplay and what we were actually getting and didn't paint it in any sort of light, I don't think any zombie fans would have actually seriously really bought this game, except for the people who were just going to buy it anyway. Like, I would have bought it because I just, you know, I'm going to play zombies regardless. But a lot of the more casual zombie players would have just passed and played Cold War, and they knew this, so they painted it like he was saying there with those little lines. Round-based fans will be satisfied. That was like an actual line they put in there, and I don't know where they got that from. That was definitely just something they threw in to get additional people to buy the game.
Forgetting about them, and then they put out the mode and then their radio silent. They did the same thing with Black Ops 4, and I will say straight up, the community was wrong about Black Ops 4. I was kind of in the middle. I played that game more than Black Ops 3, I'm pretty sure. So I
have a very different opinion on Black Ops 4 than most people. Most people hated Black Ops 4 at launch and love it now. I loved Black Ops 4 at launch, but hate it now. My opinion changed on it. I loved Black Ops 4 when it launched. We had 3 different maps. We had a camo grind. We had all this cool stuff. And I did. You guys know I love to grind camos. I grinded the camos for MP, got the Dark Aether camo in MP, and then I grinded all the camos in Zombies, which was so much harder. The Zombies camo grind for Black Ops 4 was the most insane things ever. Then we waited 3.5 months. I unlocked all the camos in Zombies the first month that it came out. Waited 3 months, and then they gave us the Dark Matter camo for multiplayer, copy and pasted it over after making us wait 3.5 months. And then I did not play that game until right before Cold War came out to go back and do the Easter eggs. I quit before any DLC launched, any of that stuff, waiting for that Dark Matter camo, and that's when I gave up on that game. I felt just absolutely disrespected with that. So I love Black Ops 4 at launch until like 3 months in when they added the Dark Matter camo, and it legitimately was a copy and paste of MP. And that's when I stopped playing that game, and that's why I never gave that game any. I felt so disrespected. I was just like, this game can just, yeah. Which is weird because most people hated it at launch and love it now.
I liked it, but I was just upset with the route they took the DLC. But a lot of people hated the game because of the mechanics. I actually like them. I wish there was quests for the, specialists and stuff.
I don't, yeah, I disagree with that. I hated the specialist quest. Like, I don't know. I like Zombies. I kind of like the Zombies to be more simpler. I feel like I can play it more. That's what I loved about Cold War. I don't like the annoying quest. I don't mind if the quests are straightforward. I don't mind if they're hard, and I don't really care if they're easy. I just don't want them to be annoying. In Shadows of Evil, doing everything you had to do to get the sword was just not fun, and to me that made it not replayable. A lot of the things they did in Black Ops 3, like, I hated going for the specialist. Not because it was hard, because they really weren't hard. It was just time consuming, and that's what I love about Cold War Zombies. That's what I love about Black Ops 4. That's what I love about Black Ops 1. You can just get into game. You don't got to worry about getting the specialist. You either have it or you, in the case of Black Ops 1, you just don't. And they kind of balance the game around this specialist. So yeah, you could be like, oh, you just don't have to get it in Black Ops 3. But I kind of want to kind of max out my character, but I want to spend more time killing zombies than anything. That's what I want to do. And I feel like Cold War really let you do that for the most part. Yeah, you get the wonder weapon out of the box. You can get it out of trials. They really gave you a ton of different ways to get it. And you could really make the game experience your own. I feel like when you've got to do a quest to be able to get your field upgrade or whatever it was called, the specialist, it locks you in a box and it makes you do the same it makes you do the same zombies experience every single time, and it gets super repetitive. Whereas games that you just spawn in with it, you can make your own individual experience and kind of set out the game. That's what made Black Ops Cold War so replayable to me, is you got to make your own experience and you got to try different things out and you got to tinker and test different strategies. Where Vanguard, you can't do that. You are locked to the Ultimate of Covenants and your path is chosen for you. You don't get to try out like in Cold War. But I would just be sitting, doing homework or writing an email, and I'd be like, wait, what if I go on Outbreak and I use this with this and this and this? What would happen? And I loved being able to do that. If I have an idea like that for Vanguard, it's like, all right, we're going to go in game and we're going to see if we can get this Covenant. Nope, we didn't get it. All right, we'll try again. We'll try again. 2.5 hours later, haven't got the Covenant. And I'm like, well, I guess I just wasn't able to do the idea that I had for zombies. You should always be able to set up what you want to be able to set up in each individual game. And if you can't do that, it kind of locks you in a box and makes the game have no replayability, because it's like, yeah, every game is going to be different with this, but it doesn't matter if you don't get to choose it. It could be a stupid, boring path line every single time, and that's what ends up happening with this. I hate the Alternative Covenants.
Obviously, that's never going to happen again. I think we expected Zombies to ascend to be an equal mode to multiplayer, to Battle Royale, but it's not.
It kind of did. It did there for a while. I would say in Cold War, I would say for Black Ops 3, it was an equal mode. Black Ops 4 was an equal mode, and Cold War was an equal mode. I think for that time period of 3 years, Cold War, if you look at Cold War patch notes, the zombies almost got more patches than multiplayer. It really did. Like, it got a ton of stuff, and that's probably because it was making the most money selling bundles. Same thing with Black Ops 3. Maybe not, because there was a lot of updates for Black Ops 3 where zombies were just left out. Black Ops 4, I shouldn't even comment on that one, because I don't know. I didn't play Black Ops 4 during its life cycle. As soon as they added the Dark Matter camo, I pieced out for the entire year and came back.
And you know what? I'm okay with that. But what I'm not okay with is paying money for an incomplete, buggy product with promises to get fixed in the future. That's not how you do business. That's not how.
See, I would be okay with it if they just told us that. The thing is, they didn't tell you that it was just a complete demo of a mode. Like, I mean, it's like an early access game. As long as they're upfront and telling you what you're getting, like, if people want to spend $60 on it, that's fine. My issue with it is I felt like I was deceived. I felt like they tricked me into paying money and I got something completely different in return from what I expected based off what they showed us.
How you do things. When you sell something to somebody, you give them the best version of what you said you were going to give them. That's how it works. And if they're not going to honor that, then fans have every right to be upset. So no, you do not have to be grateful. You do not have to be happy. You do not have to pretend to like something if you do not. If you do enjoy this game and you are happy about it, then I am so stoked for you. I'm always in the middle. I actually kind of like the gameplay of Duranfang. I wish there was more to it, but I'm kind of happy with it. But I am not happy with the lack of Easter eggs, the lack of field upgrades, the lack of perks, the lack of original maps, like that stuff.
The lack of a theme, the lack of, ammo mods, the lack of a wonder weapon, the lack of replayability, the lack of a pause feature, the lack of a pack-a-punch camo.
Does bother.
It'd be quicker to list off what the game does have. It has zombies, it has boss zombies, it has objectives, there's a pack-a-punch machine, there's field upgrades, and that's where the list of things it has stops.
The field upgrades don't even work. The fact that I can't tell if I have speed cola on. I mean, there's a ton of glitches. I can't go to the bathroom. I got up because my cat was barfing the other day and I got kicked out for inactivity. This game is a mess, and that's fine.
I just find this so funny. This video is a month old. This video is a month old, and everything in this video is still the same state in Vanguard. Nothing's changed. Like, you would think that it being a month and a half after this game is launched, that it would be different, right? That it would be changed a little bit. And some of the points that he was making still wouldn't stand true, but everything he's talking about, there's no pause feature. Like, none of the issues that the community has had, not a single issue the community has had about Vanguard Zombies has been addressed. They haven't talked about it. The only thing we know is we're getting a pause feature later. The only updates they have done have no correlation or concern with any of the main issues with this game. The pause feature being the main over one, and so many other quality of life features that just completely got ignored, and they're going in a completely different direction, adding things that really make no sense when there's glaring issues. And I think that's the worst part. And I guess it comes down to the no communication.
But don't leave your customers in the dark. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for this video.
Don't leave your customers in the dark aether.
Really do appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed this video.
See, I can make cheesy jokes at the end of this because this is already 30 minutes long. So there's like 2 of you guys who probably actually heard that cheesy joke. So we can get a little bit more wild here at the end of the video, because I feel like 2 people probably heard that.
At all, please leave a like. If you didn't like it, that dislike button works just as well. Also, if you really enjoyed the video a lot, well, you know what that red button does is also great for the channel as well. And again, people, I am not trying to like blindly hate anybody, or I don't hate Treyarch, I don't hate Infinity Ward, I don't hate any COD YouTubers. This is nothing like that. Just want to make sure that you understand that you're feeling.
But yeah, that is the end of the video, boys. So that is our first reaction video. I'm probably going to watch back through this. I'm going to learn a little bit of stuff because I know it was kind of choppy how we did it. I don't know when I should pause. I don't know when I should do what and stuff like that. So this was kind of a trial run. Pretty good video. I definitely love the editing on it. Like, I just love freaking his videos because it's just the editing. It makes me a little bit jealous because it's a lot better than my editing. But yeah, definitely check out his video below. He's got a bunch of other informational kind of retro, I don't want to call it, I don't know what you call the content, kind of content, we'll just call it that, below. So make sure sub to him, getting close to 2K subs, all that cool stuff. Really chill dude. Make sure to leave a like, all that cool stuff. We'll leave a comment. We're just gonna comment hog. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna We're gonna like our own comment because we're self-centered like that. But yeah, with that, boys, we're gonna wrap this one up here. Make sure you leave in the comments below stuff that you want me to edit to. Videos like this is what I like editing to, other people's perspectives on stuff like that. So other zombie videos, maybe it's just a different game entirely. I don't know. We're gonna have a lot of fun with it this year on this channel. If you want to leave it in the comments or in the Discord, we'll have a channel that you can check out for that. With that, guys, we're gonna end this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially all the way to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, hey there. Thank you for watching the entire video. I've got to take this last moment here to give a huge thanks to everyone who became a Twitch sub or a YouTube member, and an extra special thanks to those who have taken above and beyond and became an Unlock Plus Plus member on YouTube. We've got the 2x Trader Purple. We've got the most OP Gobblegum ever, Round Robin. We have the hero Arrow Pharaoh, and then we've got the absolute legend Peyton Perkins. Once again, got to get a huge thanks to all of them for becoming Unlock Plus Plus members here on YouTube.